Hello and welcome. Today we are going to take a look at an interesting fountain pen. This one is the Hongdian 517D. Now I affectionately call this pen a birthday pen because my birthday is May 17th. This was given to me by Puppet Access, who is a member of this channel. Thank you very much. And now I have an opportunity to share it with all of you. So let's take a look at this interesting fountain pen. Okay, let's take a look at our tools for today. This is the Rhodia block paper with lovely lines and an incredible smooth, almost ice skating rink finish. Absolutely gorgeous for expressing inks. And which ink will that be? Well, today it's going to be Diamine's Autumn Oak. This is a lovely shading orange, absolutely brilliant. Beautiful bottle. So this will be a perfect ink for us today. And of course our pen, the mighty Hongdian 517 in this gorgeous metal container. So let's take a look at this container. I have sort of modified it because Puppet Access was kind enough to send me extra nibs. So I cut a bit of the rubber off so I could fit all the nibs in there. Now here is our pen. It is a really impressive pen, very beautiful. It's on a brass base. It is coated with rubber, so it's very grippy and beautiful. The nib is stainless steel, and this one is a Fude nib. So me critiquing a Fude nib makes me a Fude critic. So beside the Fude nib, I have other choices, but I think I'm going to stick to this one today. You can see it has a very shiny, beautiful PVD coating on this stainless steel nib with that graceful curve. Very beautiful, very, very interesting. And if you unscrew it, I will say I really like these metal threads here. A very serviceable converter that should do the job nicely. And a very nice pen overall on fit and finish. Now, Hongdian was a maker for other pens, and they decided to release their own brand, which I think is rather clever. I'm not sure which brands they built for, but I can say, and I'm not saying there's any correlation here, but I can say it has a bit of a almost pilot feel to it. But very nice. You can hear the very satisfying snap to the cap. It's a little less satisfying to open it. You need some leverage to open it, but it sure does close with a very satisfying snap. So a very pretty pen, very functional, very basic, streamlined. So this is a very inexpensive pen, and I'm really trying to show you a lot more options in the inexpensive pen realm. There are some fantastic options for you to really express different parts of your passion for this hobby. So say you want a Fude nib, you don't want to spend $1,000 for a Mont Blanc 149 with a curved calligraphy nib. Well, here you can buy one for $6. And once again, Hongdian is like many Chinese pen makers where you can pay whatever you like for the pen. They're out on AliExpress for anywhere from $5 up to $30, and I see them on domestic pen sellers' websites for $30, $25, $20 around there. So you can really choose what you want to pay and with whom you want to do business with. So back to the pen. Let's get this pen filled up and see how it writes. Okay, Autumn Oak is a very lovely color. So I think it's going to really bring out some of the fun in this pen. And I kind of like the sort of Halloween-y black and orange that we're going for here. And I generally do the piston a few times. It tends to get a much more satisfying and complete fill. So our piston did a fine job of getting quite a bit of ink in there, as you can see. Okay, now we need to clean the nib off. Usually I would use a shop towel. Not a fan of using paper towels because they get lint everywhere, including on your nib. They just don't do that great a job, but the blue shop towels are brilliant and you can use them over and over again. I just can't reach mine where it is right now with all my filming equipment in the way. Okay, the Hongdian 517D, a very elegant pen, very streamlined, very tactile. I love tactile pens. I love the way this one feels. I do find it extremely difficult to get the cap off. It's very much on there tightly, as if it's trying to make sure the nib does not escape. We would not want that. So let's try writing with this Fude Nib and see what happens. Very smooth. We're troweling the ink. We're troweling the ink around. And it's a nice experience. It does come out a bit like a magic marker for me because I think I need to keep it more parallel to the paper. Which, as you know, I am rather bad at any sort of technique. But it is very, very smooth. There is a cushion of ink that this is floating on. Okay, let's write a little faster. See how it does. It doesn't want to stay posted. It's a loose poster. A loose poster, that's what it is. I think that's a new term. It's very Larry David, just not posting satisfactorily. So if you really like to post your pens, you might want to take that into consideration. I will say that I'm not getting the sort of line variation I thought I would with a Fude Nib. Now we can write supposedly very small with the other side. So let's try that, even though I would literally never do this. It is needle thin and incredibly not fun and very faint. I don't really enjoy that at all. But pushing fat amounts of ink around the page in a glorious smooth line is rather fun. And I can certainly see the appeal. And putting it on a platform like this Hongdian 517, which only costs, say, $6 or so, it's really hard to argue whether or not there's a value proposition there. Because I'm sure with a bit of work, a Fude Nib would start to become second nature. And who knows what new shapes and forms you'd be able to make with it. And that's just another part of this amazing hobby of ours. There are so many new things to discover at any time. So why limit yourself? And why not take a chance on a less expensive pen that you can put an interesting nib, especially when you can just simply unscrew it and add any of these other nibs, which is easy enough to do. Swap them out. They come as whole assemblies. So that would just go right in there and slide and hook up into the converter. So easy enough there. Why not change into something else? This is actually another Fude Nib. So that's a big surprise. Well, it's good to have backup nibs. So this is the Hongdian 517D. Absolutely beautifully made, well crafted, very tactile, fun to use, well balanced. It's just not a good poster. So that could drive you a little mad if you want to have a well posted pen. But if you're like me and you don't write with a pen posted, it's rather nice. Maybe a little on the short side, but long enough to fit comfortably enough for some very pleasant writing. And it makes a fantastic platform for trying a different nib. Maybe if you're a fine nib person, go to broad. or try a Fude or whatever is a little different for you. That's the appeal to a more inexpensive pen. You're not really investing too much. So it's an interesting pen. I'm enjoying using it. I think I'll address some envelopes with it because it is so dramatic with this nib. And I'll keep experimenting with a Fude and how it works. So thank you, Puppet Access, for sending this pen. It's quite interesting. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the Hongdian 517D in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And if you've reached this far in the video, why not subscribe? I know about 60% of you that watch my channel don't subscribe, so please do. It really helps the channel as we're trying to grow and meet more people. Also, memberships available if you really want to support the channel and get into our Pen Pal group and see what's going on behind the scenes. I'd absolutely love to have you. So I make new videos all the time, and I have a live show each Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So join us, won't you? So I can promise you one thing. We will see each other again very soon, further up the road. So take care of yourself.